Hey, Jim, I was watching you on air yesterday and you used the phrase information war, and that's exactly what we're seeing in both of these big international news stories. And I want to turn to Ukraine and Russia in a moment. But first to Gaza, we're hearing the breaking news from Israel right now. I think reporters in the Middle East from Israel and especially in Gaza today, they're working in such dangerous conditions to try to tell the world what's going on. But interestingly, one veteran reporter was absent for much of this week. People at home might have heard about this. NBC's Ayman Mohyeldin is a famed correspondent in the region. But one of his bosses told him to leave Gaza on the very same day he witnessed the deaths of 4 children on the beach there. This was a sensitive decision, partly because Mohyeldin is NBC's only Arab-American correspondent. Some observers say his early reports from Gaza showed sympathy, maybe too much sympathy, for the people he was covering. There were accusations of bias. But on the other hand, a lot of Middle East correspondents say he's one of the best in the business and that NBC made a big mistake. Well, on Friday, NBC came pretty close to admitting that mistake. The network said it had reconsidered its deployments, and today Mohyeldin is back in Gaza covering all this breaking news. I come away from all of this wondering, is it possible for any correspondent covering the Israeli-Palestinian conflict to avoid controversy, to avoid accusations of unfairness? And I want to put that question to a famed CNN correspondent and anchor here, someone with decades of experience covering the region, CNN international anchor Jim Clancy. He's in Atlanta this morning. Jim, you know Ayman Mohyeldin. You've met him before. What's your impression of what happened in this case?
Well, yes, I know Ayman. And here's a passionate journalist that is always there on the front line. I worked with him in the Lebanon war between Hezbollah and Israel in 2006. But, here's a decision that is made by executives, and it's immediately questioned. Why? Because he is an Arab. And an Arab reporting on these sensitive kinds of stories is often blamed for being, pro-Palestinian on this front. Jews don't escape this either as correspondents, and there are many of them that are working the Middle East story. It's one of the hazards that goes with it. I think it was Tom Friedman who once said, for myself, I'm always suspected by the Palestinian side, by the Arab side in all of this. And among my own people, I'm seen as a self-hating Jew, the ones who want to be critical. It's very difficult territory on that front. A journalist can only expect that if he's really doing a good job, both sides are criticizing his reporting.
Let's broaden this out. Let me put up a Twitter message on screen that I saw over the weekend. This is Damian Cave, a New York Times correspondent. And he wrote, "What's interesting about the Ayman case is the debate over the role of a journalist expressing sympathy, empathy." I agree with that. And Jim, I wonder what you think. Is it appropriate for a journalist in these situations to express empathy, to express sympathy about the people they're covering?
I think that it is a normal human reaction. You've got to understand that, yes, you try to balance things. You try to put in the facts that really matter. But at the same time, you can't stand before a mother who has lost 2 of her young children, who regrets that they ever went out to play football on the beach, seeing them, blown into pieces. In this kind of a situation, it's very difficult not to have empathy, not to have the human emotion. That is part of the story. And unfortunately, both sides try to dehumanize the others. And that's what reporters have to do. They have to bring some of the humanity back, and it becomes an unavoidable situation where you can look sympathetic instead of being empathetic.
You know all too well, every word a reporter utters about this conflict is scrutinized by all sides. And I want to show one example from this morning's paper. This is the Washington Post headline on the front page: 2 Israeli soldiers killed in Gaza clash. And then the subheadline says, "Death toll tops 330 as Hamas militants step up attacks." Now, a Palestinian would look at this headline and say, it's implying that the 330 dead are Israeli, not Palestinian. So as a reporter who was in the region for so many years, how did you handle that pressure about how every word matters?
Every word does matter. Everybody is watching you. They are going to weigh it to ensure that their point of view gets across, that their side of the story comes across. This is an information war, and more today than ever with social media, everything that's being handled there. The Palestinians are today calling for the international community to stand up, take a stand against war crimes that are committed by the Israelis. And they're pointing up now that more than 400 people, about 75% of them, according to the UN, who are civilians, have been killed in this conflict. There's a lot of women, there's a lot of children. Israel is trying to balance all of this, and they're doing so by issuing warnings, telling people to get out, move away, stay clear. This is going to be a deadly zone. But the Palestinians will come back and ask you, where do we go? There's no place safe.
Well, that headline, 330, is now outdated. The new number is 425. But in past conflicts, Hamas claims of civilian deaths have been inflated. If you listen to pro-Israel groups, they would say highly inflated. So how does the press deal with these death toll reports?
We have to go with the officials that are on the ground, that have proven themselves to be reliable. You can bet that the political bureaus and uninformed politicians are going to get some of the numbers wrong. It's happened in the past. It's happened while I've been reporting. You have to stick with the numbers that you know. They may be out of date, but you have to wait until they catch up. There's just no other way to do it. You know, this whole process of, you know, the blame game and trying to win sympathy and who has the most casualties. There's something very dehumanizing about that as well. And it's specific, not just to this conflict, but over the years, I've just watched as it really became unbearable to see how people were expecting a death toll to come forward and how it would benefit them.
And now we're hearing from Wolf Blitzer, this appears to be the deadliest day for the Israeli military in many years, with this number 13 that we've seen reported. As we wrap up here, Jim, I wonder what you see when you look at the coverage. Some people see a pro-Israel bias, some see a pro-Palestinian bias. Do you see either of those? What do you see?
I see it depends on the report. It depends on the situation, how it could be interpreted. But I see overall some fairly balanced coverage. You know, this conflict has so many dimensions, and those dimensions are changing. These high casualties are going to be used by Hamas. You know, whatever doesn't kill this organization is only going to make it stronger. And Hamas, many believe, will come out of this a much stronger entity for Israel to have to deal with. How far is Israel willing to go? We'll have to wait and see on that one, too. Brian.
Jim Clancy, thank you for joining me.